everybody. Welcome back
to the post show.
Where we're both feeling pretty low energy. Well, actually,
okay.
Are you feeling low energy? I'm just assuming. Willie doesn't sleep well, so he most of the time feels low energy.
Yeah. My body is a little tired. I've been pushing myself pretty hard physically the last couple days, but
Which
mentally I'm there.
To my obsession.
Ooh, what you got?
Is a bouncing point off of my obsession from last week, which was my seeds that I bought.
Right.
Which I realized I haven't gotten any updated tracking info on that, so I should check on that. But anyways, in relation to my seeds, my current obsession is Buy Nothing. It's a Facebook group, if you've not heard of it. I think now they're trying to get people to switch to an app. I don't think that's going to happen, but the Facebook group. So there's one for basically everywhere, I think, and for like different parts of town. There's 4, I think, in Anchorage. There's like west side, east side, south side, and actually maybe just 3. And on the west side one, which is the one we're a part of because that's where we live, someone was giving away 92% of a greenhouse, basically, because it didn't have the window part.
Yeah, sure. So it was a 6-foot by 12-foot.
8-foot by 12-foot.
Shed, yeah.
Yes,
Massive.
with like a greenhouse roof and like openings for us to put the sides on. And they were giving it away for free so long as we took it away from their house, which has turned into be a lot of work, but it was free. And so now for the spring and for the fall, which you don't need a greenhouse for the fall, we're gonna have a greenhouse.
Yeah, we are.
Which leads into Willie's obsession for this week, which is manual labor.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with it.
He does genuinely really like it. I'm being sarcastic, but he likes it.
I do. It feels good at the end of a day to be tired
To be
in a
worked.
really satisfactory way.
Which is okay if you don't relate to that, because I don't relate to that.
Fair enough. To each
But something
their own.
that we can all relate to,
Yeah?
Levi's sermon.
Yes.
And-
I certainly can.
And trying to be content.
Yeah, he had a certain line in his sermon where he referenced struggling, like he thinks many do, with God presenting himself to Levi in a way that Levi doesn't really want.
And we're going to keep talking about Levi in the third person. Yes, I think that Levi was accurate in saying that I think everybody struggles with that at one point or another in their lives, because we are sinful humans and we want what we want. And we think that we know best.
Oh, yeah.
That's very true.
I definitely know best. I don't know about you all, but pretty obvious to me.
He definitely knows best.
I'm always right, always, without fail.
But yeah, I think it was a good reminder to me of something that I think Christianity gets wrong really easily. And by Christianity, I just mean the whole of the religion, not any one specific person or group, but that I feel like we kind of go onto, when we talk about contentment and we talk about the will of God, we kind of go to 2 different ends of the spectrum. We go to, if you're a Christian, you're just always going to be in hardship because following Jesus is hard. And so it's always going to be hard. That's one end. So like
Right.
just super negative, like everything is terrible all the time type of thing. And then the opposite end of that is that we're supposed to count it all joy. So, there are going to be hard things, but we need to be happy because these hard things are going to forge us like metal, or, all the different metaphors for that.
Right, and it's important to point out that each of the 2 things that she referenced are biblical.
Yes, yeah.
But they're a very blinders-on view
Narrow.
of those
It's very narrow.
parts of the Bible.
Yes, and it should not be taken as an absolute truth for all of life, all the time. And the reality is that the truth is somewhere in the middle. That while, yes, we are supposed to count it all joy, you don't just say that to somebody. You have to figure out how to count it all joy. It's not something that's inherent in us because we are disapproving, sinful human beings. So, we're not going to just, see hardship and, it's not innate in us to see hardship and be like, I'm going to just count this joy.
Right, because we often forget that joy is not just like a big smile upon your face or laughter coming out of your mouth. Joy can look like a lot of different things to a lot of different situations.
Yes, and joy is like something that comes from within. It's not just happiness. It's deeper than that, and it's something that can only come from God, I think.
Exactly.
And so I feel like I grew up, I don't really know which reality I grew up in, but I know that I have caught myself in thinking as of late, as we are in what feels like a challenging time, that life is like a set of seasons where like we're going to be in this season and then we're going to be in a hard season right now, but then it's going to get better. And there's just that like almost like toxic thinking that like there are certain seasons that are going to be like blissfully happy and joy is going to come easy. And while those may happen, and I think that they do, and I think that the Lord gifts that to us, and I think that we as Christians can work for those and pray for that, specifically pray that our will aligns with the will of God. Because I think that is what brings to true joy when we're not comparing, and that's what brings us true contentment.
Mm-hmm. Right, not expecting life to be binary. It's either going to be all bad or all good. It's always going to be a mix of both. Mm-hmm. And it's important to remember, as a worship song that I've been listening to recently by Rachel Morley says, God, don't come as I want you to, come as you are. Because those are two very different things.
Yeah, and if God comes as we want him to, aka doing our will and not his, that's ultimately going to lead us to more hardship. Even if we don't realize that it will, which we rarely ever do until it's over, or maybe we never do. Mm-hmm. Because if God shows up on our will, he's only existing in the timeline of our heads and in our like small understanding of existence in life, and his understanding of time and life and what we need is so much bigger and so much greater. And so I've been really trying to retrain my mind to not feel like I'm in this like seasonal mindset of like, oh, we're in this really tough season where like we personally, and I'm saying this as a reality, we personally have had a lot of really hard things happen to us. Mm-hmm. And we've gone through a lot of really hard things. And I keep thinking like, oh, this is just a season. And I feel like people encourage me in that way. But in reality, like that's really just setting me up for failure. Mm-hmm. Like that if it doesn't get better after the end of this proverbial season, where am I going to be? I'm going to be less content. I'm going to be more upset at God because I'm going to be like, I feel like I'm owed this break or this relief. When in reality, like I have to work to align my will with the will of God to have any type of relief.
Mm-hmm. So pray on that, meditate on that, and figure out how you can be more content with your current circumstances.
And think about how you're encouraging others when they are going through hard times. I think that it's something that we super easily just think that our words don't have a lot of power, when in reality, like the way that we're encouraging people matters. And if we do it differently than the world says we should, that matters. And so just think about how you are encouraging those around you that are going through hard times.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you next time.